good morning to everyone. So I represent RS Software, and we are doing some exciting things, and I would like to share with you what we have done in the past, I think, 3.5 years or so. So I'll be talking about the fraud and risk management for digital payments in India and implementation perspective. So as we were getting ready and speaking and all in this, say, 3 minutes or so, there is already 1 million digital payment transaction that has occurred. And out of these, about 35,000 transactions were not so good transactions. And definitely out of that, about 12,000 transactions were fraud. And which costs people like us 1.5 crores of rupees if you put together. And what you can see is, what the data that we have used is that today we know that 84% of all the digital payment transactions in India is being done through UPI. That's another platform that RS Software has built for India. And if you look at the ticket size, if you factor that in, you will see that why it is 1.5 crores at stake. And it is this amount of money that we are protecting using a product that we have developed in RS Software, and we have deployed that at Pan India, and it is protecting all the different digital channels, payment channels that is there. It is RS IntelliEdge, and it is protecting the nation since October 2019. So now, if you look at the data, payments data as such, you will see that there are obviously things like date and time, which is very naturally that will be there. There is amount, which is the amount it's carrying, the transaction. There's a source account ID and a destination account ID between which the money moves. And there are merchant types. Now, merchant type is definitely a categorical data, and you can see that there are different types of merchants, starting from real estate, to betting, to gambling, to digital games, and then you have the grocery and the bakeries. And you have location and so many other data fields. Why we talk about this data field is that strategy that has to go into building that fraud solution is based squarely on these types of the data and the data elements. So the first two are definitely a continuous domain data. The next one are identifiers. When we say identifiers, that means if I know that a particular source transaction is a fraudulent source, we can stop that. Then there are categorical data. This is a little difficult to handle data because these are not linear data, and there is a different type of technology that is used to handle that. And again, this time window can be epoch-like, non-overlapping, or it can be overlapping, or it can be sliding. All of these are considerations that are used in building this software. So now let us look at the intuition. Now, you know that we have to protect the digital payment transaction. We know what are the types of the data. Now, what is the intuition that comes into mind? How do we protect the frauds that are going to happen? So fraud and risk management essentially is building a filter that can classify a transaction as sheerly good transaction, that is, everything is okay with that, which is largest part of it, more than 90%. So how do you build these filters? You build using rules and the AI ML models. Fine. So rules are built when you know or expect a pattern. So if you know the pattern or expect the pattern, you can build a rule around that. And AI ML are used when you actually don't know the exact pattern, but you know that this type of things probably gives a bad output. That means fraud output. So obviously, I'm just giving a glimpse that we know the various data elements and the types of the data elements. So what do we do with that? So basically, we have a 4 data handling strategy aspects. One is called hotlist. What is hotlist? So we have seen that there are source IDs, source account IDs and destination account IDs, and using those two type of things, we can put, if we know that this particular merchant is bad or this particular payer is bad, we can put them in hotlist and we can stop that transaction right then and there. That means it doesn't go. The second is the activity type. In the activity, you will see that, I'll give an example here, that before an ATM card is skimmed, you have the rogue person or the fraudster has the passwords and all of that. But before they use it to take out money, they start using it to see what is the account balance. So it is very interesting, like if you have 4 account balance check within certain amount of time, then you can almost be sure that you are heading for a fraudster taking out fund from your account.